Well, hey guys,
All right,
we missed you
welcome.
all. So,
Welcome to Hum Over Hustle Live. This is our final one for the
can you
2025
believe it? We made it
era.
through, you guys. What a year.
What a year.
Oh my gosh.
So, we wanted to dive right in and first just pose the question to you. What has this year meant to you? Is there one or two or three or 50 things that have been very pronounced in your life that have been highlighted
Yeah.
and that you've seen in the
Epiphany.
mirror? To really shine the light on some things so that when we enter 2026 is what we're going to talk about, the great unveiling of our own authenticity
Mm-hmm.
and the earth's authenticity being uncovered by all of the conditioning that's been placed upon it. So welcome to the call, and we're excited because we just have this anticipation inside for 2026. It's going to be, and I don't really want to use the word amazing because it's overused. It's going
It's
to
going to be
be
freeing.
and a great unveiling. And we're gonna discuss what that means right out of the gate of the great unveiling. But first, I want to just mention, as kind of a setup and a pictorial of this, everyone remembers during the time of COVID when everyone was focused on the systems of the world, what was going wrong with the world, all of the fear and the panic and the drivenness related to the whole COVID situation, right?
Yeah.
However, there was something more beautiful going on than the bad. Although some of that was very hard on people that lost loved ones, we understand that. However, the earth itself was healing. The rivers, the lakes, the ocean, all of them were coming back online to Eden underneath the great cover-up of all of the destruction that mankind brought to the planet. All of the pollution and the things that when man puts his hand to the earth begin to plummet because of the conditioning of man, bringing their condition to the earth. And so take, for example, when you were out camping, if you do camp, or you're out in the woods during the summertime, how much trash you saw in during areas, in those areas that you were in. Well, that is brought about because the man's mind conditioning bringing that out to a planet that is clean and pure and authentic in Eden. So the pollution that was for thousands of years happening, right, began to let up because man stopped putting their hand to it in nature. It began to heal, like being restored back to the Edenic qualities. The purity, the pure rivers and lakes started to come back online during that time. What was that? That was a signpost for us, friends. A signpost, a huge one. If we were looking, and the stillness, we were being made to be still. We were being made to look in the mirror and see, wait, what am I doing that is conditioning and programming more than my true authentic self and nature? So it was all meant, hey, good morning, guys.
Yay.
It was
All
all
right.
meant to and designed to see goodness, not the negative. Hi. Hey, hope you guys had a
Mr.
great
Andy.
Christmas.
Janine.
We missed being on here with you all, and it was great to be back. We have an exciting time ahead if we choose to look at it through the lens of our own original blueprints, right? It's all coming online in 2026. So that's just an example of during COVID how the oceans and the
Janine.
rivers and the
All
land
right. Woo.
were all beginning to heal. Hi, guys. And then beginning to heal. To give us a picture, there's always something in nature where God
It's
is
mirroring
to us the Edenic mineralization, if you will, of our body makeup. Remineralizing who we are. And we're not just talking in the natural, talking in the spirit, right? So 2026 is a great unveiling of what Eden was trying to say to us during COVID when the rivers and the lakes and the forests were healing because man didn't put their pollution to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the great unveiling of an Edenic quality of who we really are coming online in 2026. That's why 25 was so hard.
And 25, you guys, is actually the completion. It's the number 9, which represents the end of it was completion. So as we're moving into 2026, we're moving into a whole new page, a whole new, oh man,
Number
more
7.
clarity.
Yeah.
So things are, they're going to continue. Like we've been feeling this compression, right? Which is a good compression because it's purging out everything that's not us, everything that is performance built, that has just not been true to us, as we know. And so again, the only way through this amazing birth canal.
Canal. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're getting rid of the birth control because we're birthing something new
That's
into
right.
return. But is surrender, is complete surrender. Because you guys all know, right? So the more we try to cling to something that used to work, it's rigid and breaking, right? It's just like that Proverbs. It will break without, when somebody stiffens their neck,
Break without remedy. Be
break
broken without remedy.
And that is on purpose because we've been addicted to systems and the false matrix that was conditioned through generations, and we are being we're breaking off of it and coming back online to our original design, and where it is fluid, where comedy is back in with God, with Papa, with Christ, with the Holy Spirit, with the whole divine support team, all the angels, because religion stripped that. It stripped it in so many ways. I mean, yes, there was little glimpses and things, or it would be allowed for a little bit, or it'd be allowed, but there'd be a ceiling. But it is joy technology, you guys. And that is one of the keys that will carry us through 2026. So I want to share too with you guys.
Yeah, real quick. Sorry. For those of you that jumped on after we said it, what is just be pondering this, and I'd love to hear in the comments, what is one pronounced thing or couple of pronounced things that you've really had to look at in your own life this year, 2025? And how have you looked at it and said, okay, I'm allowing this to be dissolved so that I can go into the 226 time in more of an authentic way? If you want to post that, Janine said no more birth control. I know she just said that. But no, seriously. I mean, it's like, what are one or two things? And we want to kind of highlight those because, oh my gosh, we probably had 100 things this year. I don't know.
Yeah, like list some things you guys have been releasing that God was putting a finger on that you're like,
that's not the authentic you.
Yeah. And I know for us, there's so many things, isn't it? Releasing old beliefs, releasing
the mirror thing was huge.
Oh yeah, we just like yesterday we had more epiphanies on again that life is mirroring to us, right? It's like that Peter Crone quote I said, life is mirroring. Life, people, places are mirroring to you areas you're not yet free in. And we were talking, John and I were talking about this, like triggers and reactions, and what it really is us shadow boxing with our own selves in a lot of ways, because there were incidents where we were reacting and nobody else was reacting to the same thing, but because there was this internal triggering going on, or our nervous systems were exhausted. And so what do? We like prepare ourselves ahead of time so that it doesn't happen again. So we're already in fight or flight, or already ready to get triggered, or already ready for a reaction or somebody to trigger us or anything like that, because the nervous system's just going through this massive detox stuff, right? And so, but we zoomed out and we're like, wait a minute, we are like seriously shadow boxing with ourselves, because on an outer, bigger span of things, it's really not happening. It's the illusion. It's the looping in our minds.
And when, I've had situations, and we all have, where there's a person in your life that is planted there to be a mirror. And if we don't look at it that way, we'll always think this person is coming against us. This person has it out for us, or whatever, or they're just annoying. But when we look at it, it's something in us. It's actually something in us.
Or that we're rejecting in us.
That we're looking at in them that we don't like. Because we're all one, you guys. Think about this. We're all one, but separated by a personal reality, a personality. But we're all one in the spirit. This is what Jesus talked about in John 17. That they may see that they're already one as we are already one. So because we're one, we're actually looking at ourselves in someone else. And if we don't like something in someone, it's actually a reflection of what we don't like about ourselves. believe it or not.
Yeah.
And you may just think they're being annoying. You may think that they're just out for you, that the devil's using them, whatever,
Yeah. Why,
right?
God, is this happening to me?
Yeah.
This is annoying. When am I done with this? And
That's
all this
right.
stuff. But, we heard something by Carl Jung. He was sharing Carl Jung, how you say it. But he was sharing a story about this guy named David, who he went through absolute just betrayal, abuse in business. Somebody, cut him short, took his money, all this kind of stuff. And years later, he came back almost on his deathbed to apologize to this David guy.
Yeah.
And David sat with him and just listened. And the guy said, how do you not hate me for all that I caused and all this stuff that was done? And David said, how do I hate my very teacher? And it was like,
My greatest
what?
teacher.
My greatest teacher, because he was
Yeah.
able to reframe it, slow down and observe with curiosity what was going on within him, what was going on in the person that was projecting it. And so he allowed it to draw him in to glean revelation. I mean, of course, that takes a lot of self-control, but whoa, it was just like, if we can actually reframe the things we're going through, the things that irritate us, and like, whoa, wait a minute, this person is one of the greatest teachers in my life. It's like, It goes back to that story I told you years ago with Graham Cook and the Three Stooges, which is still on YouTube. You guys can watch, right?
Yeah.
And remember on that, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but where God had him in heaven, there was these three guys that used to come to his conference, and they would sit in the front row seat, and they would picket outside saying, Graham Cook is a false prophet, and all this kind of stuff. They'd get there to the city ahead of time before Graham got
Just
there
mock
and
him.
just mocking him. And then they'd show up to the conference, sit in the front seat with their picketing signs. And it went on for like 4 years. And Graham Cook was like, Lord, when are you going to deal with this?
Yeah.
This is so annoying to me. Just smite him, remove him, all this stuff.
FedEx them to Jesus.
And then God would tell him secretly to slip them $2,000 and mail it to them anonymously too. I mean, just all this stuff. So one night, Graham had a dream, an encounter, and he was up in the throne room with God and the angels, and God is like, I want to show you what I'm working on, Graham. You're gonna love this. I want to show you.
Yeah. And
so they pull the cloth off of this, like it's the Michelangelo, whatever, carve of David or whatever it looks like, and he's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And he sees these just the hands with little pick things, working on it. And the angels are busting up laughing because they know what's going on.
Yeah.
And so Papa goes, Graham, I want you to encourage these hands. Just encourage them, And so he's like, okay, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job.
But
And then
said
Papa's
more.
like,
They
no,
said more.
no, go even more, even more. And he goes, you're doing great. Keep going. And the angels are rolling on the ground, laughing.
Yeah.
And so finally it chisels out to this just amazing, physique. And God says, oh, he goes, who is it, God? Who is it?
Yeah, Graham said, who is it? Yeah.
And he goes, it's you. And he goes, what? No way. This is just incredible. Oh my gosh. And so then Papa goes, do you want to meet the hands that were working on this and creating these? Oh yes, I've got to meet him. I've got to thank him. This is the most incredible work I've ever seen. And so the Three Stooges come out behind the, sculpture. And then Graham goes, no. And he wakes up out of his sleep, hitting his bed, and he's like, oh my gosh. And so had the total shift of perspective again, right? My greatest teacher. And after that, when he saw how valuable they are in his life, they'd show up again.
They'd buy him coffees.
Can I get you guys coffee? Hey, how you doing today? Sit right up front where you want to sit, And they were like besides themselves. But they only showed up, for maybe another 4 weeks, and they were gone, left, never to be seen again. But it was so amazing.
Okay, yeah. So let's chew on that just for a hot minute.
And then we'll go back to you guys' comments on here too.
I love this because think about the things in your life, especially this year, 2025. I know it is an awesome story. Think about this. Is that the things that are the most difficult in your life is we're taught in religion to resist those things as if
Yeah,
they're the devil
everything's
himself.
against us. Yeah.
Everything's against us. Rebuke those things. Get away from the people that smell bad. Walk away from the gay people. Don't associate with the trans. Don't love them. Don't, just rebuke them and call the devil out on them, right? The Democrats and all of that.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have to agree with certain things, but God said love your enemies, and he doesn't have any.
Yeah, that's another story of Graham's,
That's another
right?
story. God doesn't
I have no
any.
enemies.
You have no enemies, right? Because he's unconditional love. So when you think about that in our lives, we form these enemies through challenges, difficulty, addiction, and
Preferences.
here's another thing. Oh man, I got to mention this. This is a borderline rated X, but hey, it's okay. It's just keep the purity in it. A friend of mine, Pablo, wrote a book called Holding On Loosely. And he had a real problem with porn and masturbation.
Which he shares in the book.
Which he shares in the book. And he couldn't get over this addiction, right? He had this sexual addiction. Couldn't get over it. He was trying to rebuke demons. He was fasting. He was praying, all this stuff, right? And he, one day, God just said, invite me in there when you're doing that deed, when you're doing the thing. Invite me in there with you. And he's like, what? Yeah, I was trained that you couldn't look upon sin. You can't look at me doing that, watching porn and doing that stuff. And he said, I'm already in you. So why not invite the awareness into the room?
With your heart.
With your heart, not your head, your heart. And he said the moment that happened, presence happened.
Yeah,
presence
the Lord
came in.
just came.
Eden happened because Eden's already there, but it became aware in his mind and it just broke. Boom.
He said the most incredible love. It was the Lord.
Incredible love came in the room.
Lord's love just blanketed him and soaked that. It was so incredible. He just completely gave up the other feeling because it outweighed the feeling he was having, right?
The dopamine.
And he was just like, oh, this is what I've been after. This is what I needed. This is what And so it was just incredible.
So that story.
So rather than rejecting Christ, he welcomed him in right in the middle of what his biggest struggle was.
Non-resistance, guys, sets us free in every sense of the word. Non-resistance.
Yeah,
so
non-judgment.
When we resist anything bad that comes into our life, anything perceived bad, anything perceived challenging or difficult or catastrophic, when we resist out of fear, we're actually persisting it. What we resist, we persist. We persist in our life, right? So when we allow and become this fluidity, like Bruce Lee said, become like water, become fluid, become like water, then we're movable gates. We're movable authenticity to where God is already present, but now it's in our awareness. And then the presence being present. Remember what we said before? Eden is going all the way back to the present moment. So that means that we're going full circle to the present moment because none of us have known really how to be present, have we? So this year for us has been, I can tell you for myself, be present. Now, when God says be present, it's one thing to intellectually ascend, and then it lasts for what, 5-10 minutes? But
before
when he says,
your body starts squirming and you're like, ah!
Right, but when he says be, you already are present. It's just becoming aware of the fact that we're present.
That's the key.
That's Eden.
Eden is already present. And the Hum Table, Papa God, they've all been telling us this. They're like, Eden hasn't left. It's just we all forgot, And so now that we're awakening, we're remembering, creation's responding, it's coming back online within us and throughout creation. It's emerging again because we're remembering again. Again, I always think of Narnia. It's like the ice is melting. The false matrix system of ice, rigidness, sharpness, cold-shouldered, all that stuff is melting. And Aslan is returning, Christ is returning, heaven is returning, we are returning. We're coming back in line and online and remembering and just letting go of all the lies. And so it's incredible. Incredible.
It really is. Now, let's go back and see what you guys wrote here because I think it's amazing. Janine says, for 2025, when we were asking what's the things that are coming up, every day I'm assessing whether I am an ego or authenticity, whether I get triggered or feeling out of sorts. That's awesome, Janine. You know, that's been happening with us too, and so many people that we interact with and hear from. We're being faced with really what is the ego, first of all.
And the tone
And
of
then,
it, the tone
yeah,
of it.
the tone of it, and the two voices that I like to say. One is the egoic conditioning voice, and then the one is authenticity, the real us. So which one is speaking, right? We're assessing that every day. Like you're saying, every day when I get triggered, okay, who is the one being triggered? The one being triggered is not the authentic me, because I can't be triggered. The one that's being triggered is the conditioned me, the ego that hasn't been healed. The preferences. Ego always has preferences. I like cold. I like hot. I can't stand that food. Oh, I love that food. I can't stand that person.
I'm not okay unless this happens this way.
I'm not okay unless it's sunny out. And when we can truly come to the point, which we're racing towards that now, and this season that we're in, is we could truly say, hey, I'm okay inside with whatever. I'm okay.
Yeah, you become fluid again instead of rigid.
Yeah.
So,
and then Andrew said, I sold my company and have been embracing more play with Janine heading to the Caribbean next year. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's right. You guys are going on your cruise. Woohoo!
Play is the kingdom. Play is Eden. Eden is the substance that we were formed out of and will return to in our crystalline bodies.
And
right?
they're going to go play on a cruise that has a room called Eden.
Eden, yes.
Like a amphitheater, or what is it? You guys have to share again on there, but yes, on the Celebrity Cruise Line or something.
Yeah, it's called the Eden room or something. Love that, because you're going to hear in 2026 more and more talk about Eden in this way. You're going to hear it more so than you ever have before. And it's not a physical place so much as it is presence.
It's the frequency.
It's the frequency.
It's our home tone.
It's our home tone. We're all being called home every single day.
Extraterrestrial, call home.
Yeah. We're all walking each other home, which is inward. Home inward, not external. You know, like just when we're doing this live, I see a news flash that comes across and it says, helicopter crash, 1 dead. Okay. We hear that stuff all the time, right? Which, while we show compassion for the dead, but we hear stuff and then we think the whole world is crashing. Can I just say that the mimic system of the false matrix is crashing?
Yes.
It is crashing, and it's dissolving.
Loud.
It's getting louder before it dissolves. So when we walk into 2026, it is play saves the day. Just like Janine said, play. Play is the frequency.
Not optional, guys. Yeah. Not optional.
Play is the frequency of heaven. Play is the frequency of Eden. Play is the frequency of the kingdom within us. Remember what the kingdom is, like the church always teaches.
Yeah.
Righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Ghost, right?
Joy technology, guys. Joy physics. Eden physics.
Yeah. So I'm so glad that you guys are seeing that, because there's so much covering up the play. The ship has a huge area, and inside outside and inside that is Eden, and several floors designed for creativity. Love that.
Wait to see the pictures. Send us pictures.
We want to go on that cruise.
Yeah.
So do you see the great divide that's happening, you guys? The great divide. One side in the mimic system, the false matrix, is double down on everything that is gloom and doom. Double down. Double down on judgment.
How they feel control.
Yeah. Double down on contraction. Double down on scarcity, double down on fear, double down, triple down, quadruple down on it. You see that chasm happening now. The other side is all of us, awakening to this real identity of authenticity. And the only thing that is made up of authenticity is joy and play and fun. Yeah. And so this is anti-religion, right? Religion says you got to be serious, and I love this. Who said it? That there's nothing serious going on.
Yeah, there's nothing serious going on. I know.
Yeah, so there's nothing really serious going on. The ego,
the shadow boxing will make you, oh my gosh,
makes you think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had some good stuff here for 2026
Oh yes,
too.
Yeah, which I was going to share. And Chris Perry, you on here? Oh, I'm wearing the scarf you guys gave us. You gave us a few years back, which we love.
From
Chris
Wales.
is from Wales, across the pond.
Yeah, so good to have you guys.
Yes,
Say hey, Gabriel.
Chris. Gabriel, good to have you on here.
Good to see you guys on here. This is awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so
So let me read.
2026, the Great Unveiling.
Okay. So
Amazing.
in relationships, and you guys will be able to, right, take your tuning forks. You guys will hear in your bodies this. So reconciliation is happening in strange and tender places. People who haven't spoken in decades are reaching
Yeah.
out. All grievances are dissolving, not by logic, but by something that feels like mercy flowing backwards through time. Eden knows how to berate hearts. So, and maybe this was happening over the holidays, right? Where you just didn't want to see certain relatives, and then you go, and then actually there's some restoration that took place, or somebody called you out of the blue. I know my parents were even saying, man, there's people contacting us we haven't probably heard from in like 2 decades.
Yeah, and
And
I didn't get a chance to mention this to you, but I texted, you know how we usually do on the holidays,
yeah,
we
like your
text
Merry
certain people.
Christmas.
I texted a guy named Gary that I hadn't worked with in several years, hadn't heard from, and I said, "Hey Gary, how you doing, man? You were just on my heart." And he goes, "Whoa, it's so good to hear from you. You don't know how many people have reached out to me that I hadn't heard from in years just today." And so what is that? What is that?
Eden,
It's
Eden
Eden
coming
coming.
online.
It's already online, but we're coming online with Eden, right?
Yeah.
And as that happens, as this Edenic awakening continues,
Yes.
which will continue the rest of our days, it will automatically reconcile. It will automatically bring on fun, automatically bring things in alignment. Things you did not work for, you will get large lumps of sums of money, small things connecting, relationships happening. And you're like, whoa, I didn't work for that. I didn't strive for that. I didn't even pray for that.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's Eden.
Papa knew. This is what's so exciting about the times we're in right now, because everything is getting upgraded in us. It's getting upgraded on the earth. It's getting upgraded on this. This is why we've all felt so exhausted, you guys. We're like being completely rewired right now. And this is why rest is so key. Rest and softening instead of rigidity. And so that we can upgrade. Because when you're in surgery, you got to lay still, right? You got to go down under and allow the surgeons to do the work. Allow Papa God, Holy Spirit, Christ to do the work, your angels, because we are being upgraded, upregulated. And what's amazing is because of the times we're in, where Eden is coming back online, so are all our supernatural gifts. Where we know things ahead of time, where we can tune in and telepathy, guys, that's not a bad word. That was a gift in Eden, where you, heart to heart, you would hear somebody,
Cardiogenosis.
oh, I want to connect with them. All of a sudden they're calling. And we've had this happen right before, where you think about somebody and all of a sudden they call. This is coming online even more. Your creative abilities, your gift of healing in your hands. There's so many things that are coming on. And our part is to partner with that and allow our nervous system, because our nervous system is so key. That's where we're getting downloads through, and it's upgrading our DNA. So
were you going on a cruise?
Yeah.
Is exactly what the great physician ordered, because it's rewiring and resetting your nervous system. You starting a business, Andy, Gabriel, every time you play the guitar and write a new song, it's resetting. It's resetting the nervous system.
Tuning back in.
Retuning back into Eden, so that every part of us can live it out. Miracles don't come through striving. Did you ever notice that?
Or logic.
Or formula or strategy. Miracles happen because we go in attunement. Yeah. We harmonize with the great harmonization of all time, and that's Eden. When we harmonize with it, boom, a miracle happens, and then we call it a miracle. Actually, it's not a miracle. It's our natural state of original blueprints. Yeah. But we call it miracles because it happens just infrequently.
Yeah, it's really our unconscious phrase of, oh, it's a miracle. It's like, no, you were just unconscious to how it actually happens.
Exactly.
But the more you remember who you are, and the more you remember how God placed these Edenic laws in the earth, and you just tapped into it. It's like somebody tapping on a piece of dynamite, they're like, whoa, or they stepped on a landmine, didn't realize it was there. It has always been there, like a landmine of truth. You just stepped on it, stepped across it, but now oh my gosh, that was like fireworks, amazing. So, but yeah, so it's just amazing. So some stuff that's happening in our bodies right now. The nervous system is rejecting performance. And
Oh.
this is why we've been feeling a tiredness and you don't know why, and you can't force yourself to get up to your usual routine and your usual checklist, and you're thinking, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get motivated? Why do I feel like I'm in this fog? And it is Eden's frequency slowing you down. So again, your body can upregulate. So your body can upgrade and come into the new, because there's no performance in Eden. So it's being sifted out where the adrenaline addiction was, the dopamine, everything to stay in that high of business and everything. Performance. Yep. That is being squeezed out real quick of the nervous system.
On the body. I think this is so important, you guys. Super important. Because we all know a narcissist in our life, right? And in fact, for true, we have the residue of narcissism in each and every one of us. But a full-blown narcissist, think about this. You may know one or two or 50,000 of them, right? You may know, I can think of one in my mind, and without judgment, I'm just thinking they have the narcissistic traits. Full-blown narcissist, psychopath. And they look for a high every second of the day because their nervous system has matched to the false matrix to such a degree of that woundedness inside of them, and then they're matching the frequency of woundedness all around them, and it feeds on it like a parasite, right? So then it looks for the high to match that adrenaline rush, because if it can't have it, it feels like it's going to die. It's going to be...
It's an addiction,
It's an addiction, a full-blown addiction. And so that stuff right there, when Eden is rising in the earth, in our consciousness, it's always been here, but it's rising in our consciousness, then it taps that, so to speak. Watch what goes sideways. And that's what you're seeing all throughout society right now. Yeah. Things are just going crazy.
They're churning up.
They're churning up so that we can see it for what it is.
Yeah. Bring it into the light.
In the mirror.
So it can't keep controlling us anymore. Like, it just these underlying currents. What do you do, right? When you when you're gardening and you get down under there and you bring the roots up to the surface, you're removing stuff, you're bringing it up into the light, churning the dirt up. And so this is so good, because guys, can you imagine how free and how good we're going to feel as we just keep surrendering this stuff that has been entangling us up? And we thought it was normal because we were so adapted to it. It was familiar. It was programming, even passed down from parents. Well, this is what my parents did. This is just how we do. This is how we think. So you think it's normal. And God's like, guys, it's not your original blueprint. Let me get you online with Eden again and watch how good you feel. So, yeah, again, the nervous system is rejecting performance literally. Bodies are getting sick when they try to run the old adrenaline cycles. But when people rest, align, sing, paint, play, they recover in impossible ways.
Wow.
Oh, it is so true. Let yourself, allow yourself, because it's joy technology. It's a frequency raise. When you play, when you put your favorite music on, when you eat your favorite whatever,
you create.
You're raising the bar, and so you're out of the mimic radar, right? Because you're not down in that low density anymore of what it feeds off of depression, despair, all this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so, go ahead.
Touch on that real quick. It is such juicy goodness here. Just love this stuff. Hope you guys are enjoying this. So this is why, and really think about this, guys, and I'm sure that you have, but why is there so much warfare in the church? Why is there so much warfare in religious institutions in general, or any institution? Why? Okay.
Antichrist.
Look at the government. Okay. Look at any Capitol building in any city, capital city.
In any capital city.
Look at within a 1 or 2 mile radius. It's all poverty, violence, and crime most of the time, right? Okay, so any institution that was made on the false matrix, made on doctrines of man, and all of the conditioning that goes with it,
that didn't hold heaven culture,
all is involved in warfare. So think about the institution of church, not the good, juicy stuff from heaven where we gather in his name, but the institution made on man's doctrine, right? a lot of it is infighting, a lot of it's warfare, and then they all blame the devil. Like one of our good friends said, "Poor devil." But anyway, so it's like always gets blamed for it, right? Instead of looking at, hold on a minute, let's make sense of this. The scripture even says that we're seated together where? In heavenly places. Means we're seated together in Eden, far above or far away from the connection to warfare. It says far above principalities, powers, might, and dominion, which simply means that I am not even playing there anymore because I am far away from it in Eden. So if we're high above or far away, however you want to look at it, then warfare would only make sense below. So when we lower our frequency, then we're involved in warfare.
Fight,
and then we fight, flight, and freeze. We're in the triad, right? We're in the triad. Perpetrator, victim, savior complex.
And it just keeps repeating.
Warfare, right? So anybody that says, and I used to be caught up in this, oh my gosh, I used to be the king of warfare, prayer, intercession. I was like the lead dude that could get the loudest, right?
With the veins popping
out and said, "Devil, I rebuke you," just screaming at the top of your, right? And then someone would get louder. I'd say, "Oh yeah." Internally, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, no, you're not gonna get louder than me, buddy." So anyway, we play those games, right? So when we're warring, and our natural, original blueprint state is the complete opposite of war, what in the world are we doing getting tangled up in war? Why are we tangled up in war? When the fruit of the Spirit, there is no element or no trace of war in the fruit of the Spirit. Look at it. Look at your true nature.
Self-control, joy. I mean, look at the list in the fruit of the Spirit. This is why, guys, it's so exciting that Eden is coming back online, and it's coming back online in us, in all of us, because there are prophecies years, decades, centuries ago that the ones carrying Eden's seeds would come back online for such a time as this. And we're walking in the prototype. The seeds are within us. And so what waters Eden, this is what we're talking about, is joy, rest, fruit, fun, play, creativity, colors, everything. So we're all walking around with these prototypes, and the more we release of this and the more we allow it, the more it is coming back. And there's an Edenic grid on the earth right now, and it is popping the light switches on. We're all a light switch, guys. We've all come at this appointed time. This is why you're so important, and why you're here. Each one of us on here and beyond, all those that are waking up, we are carrying the codes, we are carrying the seeds, and we are embodying it in earth. It is like it's a tuning fork, but is also a, what do you call those rods? That conductive rods. So we're conductors planted in the earth and coming online, and it is causing the most incredible light show, if you can see it in the Spirit.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
For it to come on. So anyway, so back to the body really quick. It also says that they recover in impossible ways. DNA responds to Edenic frequency, like we're talking about. That's why creative acts, joy, connection, heal faster now. So it's just.
Oh man. Yeah. And to tag on that, I just, oh man, let's stop for a second. Just take a deep breath.
Breath, guys. Breath is Eden.
What do you guys think?
No more.
What do you guys think? Are you resonating with this? Are you in sync with this? I know you are. But man, this is some great stuff that God is unveiling today with people all over the world. But isn't this much better than looking at some Debbie Downer, Debbie David news program?
The end of the world is coming.
Yeah, the end of the world as we know it.
The end of the mimic system as we know it. The false matrix.
1 Corinthians 13, I love this in the Mirror translation. It says, 1 Corinthians 13:12, there was a time of suspense when everything we saw was merely mirrored in the prophetic word, like an enigma. But then, when I became an adult in the revelation of Christ, I gaze face to face that I may know me, even as I have always been known. The word arti comes from ero, meaning to keep in suspense. i.e., I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Now, persuasion and every pleasurable expectation is completed in agape. Here in agape, my soul remembers who I am. Guys, 2026 is a year and beyond of remembering our own authentic nature, who we really are underneath all of the conditioning and the programming from all the way since birth.
Yeah.
Right? So when we start dissolving that illusion that's on the outside of the real genuine us, like we have been.
Yeah, by
2025 has been that year.
Showing up in God's presence.
Oh man.
He'll do the heavy lifting. He'll do the dissolving. We just keep showing up, surrender, float, and receive. Boy, if there's any word for 2026 aside from surrender, is receive. That's the next part.
Be
surrender
the receiver.
What's blocking you from receiving, and receive. And you know, it causes that vortex, right? You think of in water terms. When something drops into the water downward and causes a vortex of pulling things in, you don't have to chase after it. But when we're still in the, oh, I got to do this, oh, I need this, oh, you know, reaching out causes that ripple effect that pushes things away. And so as we slow down, we rest, we release, and now start receiving with just gratitude and focusing on what is going well, focusing just even on letting God hold us. Can you believe that actually it takes something? We've been so conditioned, we have to slow ourselves down to just let God hold us, allow ourselves to let God hold us without flinching. Oh, I'm not doing enough. Oh, I should be doing, oh, maybe I can do this later,
not good enough.
Oh, man.
I haven't done enough.
Let him hold you. It is the chrysalis of transformation.
Yeah, you know, especially for a man, I think, you know, to learn how to be held in being provided for. Because he gave me the big fat revelation about, John, you're not the provider. And I know that seems very elementary, but for me it was explosively huge, because I, as a man, a type A driven personality, you know, as far as the old John, I used to drive myself into working long hours, grinding it out, hustling it out, all to what? To my detriment. I didn't have energy for her, didn't have energy for the things I really love to do, because the idea was people told me to hustle and grind on my side hustle so that I can actually do the things that I really wanted to do, right? But what it does is just the opposite.
Before the horse.
Just the opposite. It tears you up and tears you down and wears you out, and then you're just like, all I want to do is numb out and sit in my car and look at nothing. Men have nothing boxes, by the way, ladies, if you didn't know that. We have nothing boxes that we can go to, and I think you get a little jelly over that, because y'all don't have them. You have about 15,000 boxes.
Yeah, we have to be the co-pilots while you're snoozing. Then the co-pilot steps in and it's having to ding, 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 the switches, man. Oh, check the directions on the plane.
And we have nothing boxes. We can just go there in a minute. And you're like, Amy, what you thinking about? I'm like, nothing.
Although John is definitely more an integrated man, the feminine, masculine. So he's usually not in any like big nothing box. He's usually just in a sweet spot of what he really wants to be thinking about and creating.
Yeah, exactly. Being instead of doing, yes, Janine, Andrea, I clearly see this through the devotional I've been writing. A walk through my career and a life of grinding. Yes, your devotional is amazing.
Awesome.
Keep it up, please. Please keep it up, Andy. It's going to help so many people. You know why? It's because there's a frequency on it that is authentic. Yeah, there's no pretense in it. There is no mask wearing. It's just like, this is me. And those words are going to come through in a stunning way in the minds and the hearts of the readers, and they're just going to be liberated without any work or effort. Oh my gosh. If this whole thing started in Eden with a dance called perichoresis in the Greek, perichoresis means the triune dance, the Trinity dance. This is where actually the Jewish dance came out of. When you see them dancing in a circle, going back and forth, that's the triune dance. That is the dance of eternity. That is the dance of Eden. And so when we join in that dance, instead of looking at it and judging it, saying, hold on, John and Amy, we have to be serious in this hour. We have to double down, and we have to judge what's going on, judge what's happening.
Oh,
We have to
yeah.
double down on our scripture memorization. We have to double down on our prayer meetings. I heard one guy say the other day, a Christian, well-known Christian minister, he goes, listen, he goes, I'm going to double and triple down on my prayer time in 2026 like nobody's business because everything's going to hell in a handbasket and we have to turn this bad boy around.
All
I'm
up
like,
to us. All up to
good
us.
luck with that.
Yeah.
Have at it. You're just going to
wear
yourself out is what you're going to do.
Self-effort 101.
We are going to go have fun and play, aren't we, guys? We are going to play our way into a beautiful day. We are going to play our way into a beautiful life because what do people want to see? What does the world really want to see in the Christ followers? I don't call myself a Christian anymore because it's Christian rhymes with institution. So it's Christ follower, right? So Christ follower means that people want to look at you and I and say, oh my gosh, they're having the time of their lives. And what? They're not billionaires, millionaires. They don't have everything, but look at them. They are filled and flooded with joy on that cruise, going into that Eden room, and they're sunning and tanning, getting vitamin D in and having all this good food and having a time of their lives. How dare they? That's what the Christians would say. Right?
The religious.
But then the people in the world are like, hold on a minute. They're having a blast.
They have something.
And they're not all loaded up on drugs and alcohol. They're just high on life. Look at that. I want that.
Yeah, and this is another thing that's coming online in all of us, you guys. We are moving out of the institutional logics of, that's how every government system was based, right? In the medical field, in the government, it's all logic, routine, everything by the book, by the book. And what happened was we detached from our original radar system of our gut and our heart and our spirit to really tune into resonance. And so resonance is the key of the day moving forward. And this is what's going to be happening. We'll be led by the Spirit. It's resonance. And so as the more we allow to embody Eden in the earth, stay in your body, you guys. This is not about taking off in a high and flying by or whatever, we are at the most incredible time to bring heaven on earth. Eden online, embodiment. We're not running, fleeing from the scene here. We are anchoring in the true government, the true blueprint, the original. The fake is falling away and dissolving. And so we don't want to be, the fake dissolves and there's nobody there to come online and lead the way forward. People are looking for the instead right now. They're fed up with the old. They can see, the guy behind the curtain on Wizard of Oz. They're like, oh, the scary thing was not what I thought. It's just even like the verse, about Satan and the devil. Oh, is this the one? Is this the one we were afraid of all this time?
That tiny little dwarf.
You don't realize how powerful, how great you are, how the DNA of God himself is in you. We're his kids, you guys. We got to remember that. We're not some pauper. We are Eden in body form coming online. And so it's exciting. You get to play. You get to have fun. You get to enjoy it. You want warfare? Start delighting in everything like crazy. Loving everything with unconditional love and beauty. Just being in awe of everything. And you will fire the static. You talk about taking out the mimic system, the false matrix, the religious institutional junk that has been dominating.
I'm a firm believer.
Rumbling.
I'm a firm believer, and that's why. Remember when you used to sit in those pews?
Yeah, done with faith.
Remember we used to sit in the services, and you were like, okay, there's performance going on up front. You can feel it, you can sense it, right? And then all of a sudden, a little toddler would wander up. Or a child would start screaming and crying, or kids would start rolling on the floor, and then people would trip over the little children and all that. And I'd be sitting back going, okay, things are getting a little too serious around here, a little too performance-y. Here comes the innocence of Eden rolling in on the floor to remind us, hold on a minute, guys, you're getting a little too adultish here.
Stop adulting.
Stop adulting. So this is why Jesus reminded us constantly, not just in the Bible, but there's many writings outside of it that talk about the childlikeness.
Oh, well, look what he said. Do not stop the children from coming to me,
Yeah,
no.
for such is the kingdom.
Such
In other
is
words,
the
what he's
kingdom.
saying is,
Forsake
in
not
our
the children.
vernacular is, listen, guys, what you're doing is denying your own innocence. You have become so conditioned that you've denied Eden within you.
And bought into the lie of the mimic system.
This is who you are. Yeah.
That says,
You
oh,
bought
that's
in.
weak. Oh, that's weak.
That's
you
weak.
need to be stoic.
Yeah, you need to be serious.
Serious.
You need to be grown up like we are and be just as jacked up. I mean, be just as wonderful as we are.
And bitter and prune faced. Yeah. Don't you want some of that prune juice? You need some prune juice to get freed up.
Yeah. You ever notice that the ones that are doubling down on the religiosity and the law drivenness and the fear, anytime anything childlikeness is mentioned, you won't hear them preaching the childlike scriptures that Jesus always talked about. You won't hear him talking about joy. You won't hear him talking about the fruit of the Spirit. No, it's everything's judgment, serious. No play. No. Don't you dare talk about joy and play because there's serious things going on.
God needs me.
And God needs...
I haven't slept for 32 hours.
Because I've been interceding for this place. You know, how many people have you known that have stayed behind when they're dying?
Totally, Janine. Totally.
Yeah. People have stayed behind in an institution and they're dying and they call themselves an intercessor and you're like, come on, let's go.
And they're always battling with being sick.
Yeah,
you ever
and
notice that?
You're like, come on, let's go. Let's get out of this institutionalism. Let's get out of this incarceration. And then they're like, no. God wants me to stay behind to intercede because I'm going to change that pastor. I'm going to change the atmosphere. And then they wind up dying. So we know intercessors that literally died because they took on the burden that they were never designed to take on.
Badge of honor. They counted it as a badge of honor. They died with all their cough drops with them in the in the coffin.
Exactly.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, Gabriel, I started wearing a fairy crown regularly to remind me. Yes.
See?
Why not?
Oh, seriously.
Okay, and then Janine says, I can't believe how I used to think I needed to be serious to be spiritual, and that was against my nature. It was against my nature. So I always was at war with, perfectly said, Janine.
Check your tone, right? Check
perfectly said.
Tone.
You were always at war with the true original blueprint of a design that you and I and all of us we're created to be. Mm-hmm. And that is always adventurous and always filled with wonder and always in exploration mode, always allowing the juicy fruit goodness of nature to speak to us.
Yeah, you crash the mimic system when you do that. You literally crash it because they have no power supply anymore. They get power supply off our seriousness, our rigidness, our trying to logically figure everything out till we work ourselves into a frenzy. Like, I mean, it's just crazy. How on earth did we make God in the religious system? How did we make it so complicated and so unenjoyable? And no.
So think about this story.
We're returning back to the original blueprint. Anybody with me?
We're all with you. So think about this story, a snapshot of the story of life. Okay? You started out, Adam and Eve, in play before they turned to the false matrix, right? They were in play, naming the animals, having fun, having a blast, just the cool of the day, walking and talking and having amazing times, right? By the campfire and sitting around and eating great food, right? So then, boom, false matrix starts to whisper.
The breach happens.
The breach happens and they're like, oh, wait a minute, the ego. Yeah, the ego. I can do this. So then picks up the mantle, starts building all of the structures, the egoic constructs. You know the story. It goes all the way through. Then there's glimpses of it.
Disconnect.
There's glimpses of it. God calls the children of Israel back out to what? Come to Eden and remember harmonics.
Come away with me.
Come away with me and play. Then you go to the story. Oh, it goes all the way. Oh, Jesus. Let me just drop a bomb on him. Jesus, the great harmonic. Filled with play and wonder and excitement and fun and joy and all that good stuff.
The Pharisees couldn't stand it.
Let me just drop it in a body. Let me visit mankind in a body. Boom. Here he is. Reminds us of Eden again. Guys, you were always designed to play.
Why did they call him a wine bibber? Because he was having a blast celebrating. He's going to all these wedding parties. Eden. He was just, Why would they make these labels? Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and why would he save the good wine for last? Because the good wine was the highest frequency of the hour in Eden. He was trying to tell them something, remind them, remember the fullness of Eden? Here it is
walking
in a
back home.
glass,
We're coming
right
back
here.
home.
We're coming back home. So then you see the miracles. Remember how you get things in life? It's effortless. You don't work for it. You didn't work for it in Eden. You didn't have a John Deere tractor digging up stuff and a trenching, busting your back. No, you were having fun and play. I'm reminding you of that. Here's the fish, the coin in the fish's mouth. But furthermore, Peter, hey, go to the right side of your brain. Be creative. Go into the fun and the play and the
Where the
childlikeness
fishes
again.
are.
And boom, 153 times over, he gets provision without what? Working for it. He did not work for it.
Windshield wiper. And you'll see clearly. Switch back over to the right side of the brain. And you'll see clearly.
Yeah.
So.
And then Jesus is on the cross. He said, look, you can go ahead and kill the false matrix side of things. But just remember, you can't kill Eden.
Yeah.
You cannot kill Eden. I am the very substance of Eden. Here I am. Boom.
Over death and the grave.
Over death
the
and the grave.
illusion.
And where did you find him? Oh, yeah, Mary and the disciples, you found him where? In a garden. Oh, it's a remembering time. The Garden of Eden. You found me where? In a garden. Here I am. Peekaboo.
The second Adam. There's all these signs. So, oh, you guys, it is glorious. And the mimic system wants to get us so wrapped up in doom and gloom and all the Fox News and all the algorithms trying to feed off of the drama. No, we're coming online and we're going to blow this grid, aren't we, you guys? We're going to blow it with joy, fruitfulness, and just let it beam, emanate. Because when you walk in a room, you shift things. You tone the room just by your being. It is coming through your pores. And so we just encourage you guys. I know we're closing out here, but just encourage you. Keep your focus. Whatever you look at, you attract. Whatever you put your attention on, you open back up. And so surround yourself in that love. Surround yourself in the play and the fun. And give yourself permission. Ask yourself why you're not giving yourself permission, because that'll expose a mimic lie right there.
It really will.
So,
and just remember, okay, so 2025, okay, we're closing that out in the linear time. We know that we don't go by linear in the kingdom and in Eden, but we do because we're in bodies and certain levels, right? But just remember, okay, we're closing that out. It meant to dissolve, to expose and to dissolve some things so that we can enter into this full-blown awareness and action and inspiration. So inspired action is the name of the quote game in 2026. What am I inspired by? Following your highest excitement. What am I inspired by versus what do I think that I have to do or should do? That is the old system. That is the old you that has been dissolving.
Yeah.
So move into the
guys,
new.
Totally. And that everything is always working out for you. So say we have, the electricity goes off over here for a short time, or this happens over here for a short time. No, it's all working out for you because it's bringing your soul back online. So anywhere where we were distracted or things happen, it's all working as a churning up. And so count it all joy because it's bringing you back online.
That's right.
Whatever's happening, everything is happening for you. This is all happening for you. So
yeah, and we have some exciting stuff coming up, just like you do in 2026.
Love you guys,
that we will announce as we move into 2026. I think you all are going to just really love it, and we see it, and we're like, okay, wow, this is going to be really amazing in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So
thank you,
Happy
guys.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
It is going to be a happy one in many, many ways. It's perception is reality.
Yes.
So let's perceive.
The meaning you attach to it.
That's right. Perceive all that's going good. Mm-hmm. All right. We love you too.
Love you guys. Thanks for all your encouragement, your love, your support, and who you guys are. Love you guys. May the journey continue.
All right.
Talk soon.
Bye-bye.